welcome to my YouTube channel 5 Minute Pediatric. Today I am going to discuss about one of the complex chapter of pediatric. Today we will learn about how to approach to neurodegenerative disorder. In this video we will cover how we will differentiate between grey matter disease versus white matter disease. Then we will further narrow down the differential and we will learn the key point of each disease so that you can easily solve the question in various examination related to neurodegenerative disorder. So before starting approach to neurodegenerative disorder, we must understand when to suspect neurodegenerative disorder. So the features suggestive of neurodegenerative disorder are: if the child having normal development before illness and after having illness there is regression or slowing in rate of acquisition of new skill. Prenatal, natal, postnatal period should be uneventful. There should be no evidence of intracranial space occupying lesion or intracranial infection. Duration should be more than 3 months and family history may be positive in case of neurodegenerative disorder. So for first step we have whether the condition or clinical history suggestive of neurodegenerative or not. Okay, if it is neurodegenerative, then step 2, whether it is grey matter disease or white matter disease. Grey matter or white matter disease, the condition present with not absolute form, there is a mixed picture, so you have to see the predominant feature of grey matter or white matter. So points in favor of grey matter, we have MMC as mnemonics. Okay, M here for memory loss early, other M we have macular changes early, and C for convulsion early. So in grey matter disease, memory loss, macular change, convulsion, these features are predominant and occur early, while in case of white matter disease all these features occur late. Now what are the predominant feature of white matter disease? These are spasticity, optic atrophy, ataxia and peripheral neuropathy. Mnemonics is SOAP, SOAP. SOAP occur early and it is a predominant feature of white matter disease, while MMC occur late in white matter disease. Okay, on the basis of head size we have microcephaly in case of grey matter disease, and white matter disease mostly we have megalencephaly. Okay, now first approach we have progressive dementia or cognitive decline with visceromegaly. In text you will get it as a grey matter disease with storage. Okay, if you have this condition then you will see the Hurler phenotype is there or not. Features suggestive of Hurler phenotype are as having frontal bossing, hypertelorism, then we have large protruded tongue, thick lips, umbilical hernia, there is skeletal abnormality. Okay, these are all features of Hurler phenotype. If it is present, then we have differential as mucopolysaccharidosis, GM1 gangliosidosis, fucosidosis and sialidosis. If we have no Hurler phenotype, then we go for urine for reducing substance. If urine for reducing substance is present, then the diagnosis we can make it as a galactosemia. If urine for reading substance is negative, then we go for bone marrow examination. If bone marrow suggestive, give you Gaucher cell. Okay, now we have Gaucher's disease. What is Gaucher cells? Actually, it is an intracytoplasmic inclusion body which is wrinkle paper appearance and pass positive. So give me two causes where we can get Gaucher cells. Give me in comment. If we get vacuolated histiocyte, we have Newman's Pick disease, and if bone marrow is normal, then go for enzyme analysis. Then we have the diagnosis send off. So we have gray matter disease with storage, we have Gaucher's, Niemann, send off, another we have galactosemia. So one more funny thing I have made about GM1 gangliosidosis so that you can easily remember the enzyme. GM, this is general manager, he is the most correct person, and we cut his gala. Okay, neck, gala is neck, so the enzyme is beta galactosidase. Okay, now the features of GM1 gangliosidosis, we have 3H, Hurler phenotype, hearing loss, hepatosplenomegaly, and we have cherry red spot. Okay, this I have made interesting. One more, we have Gaucher's disease. Gau in Hindi we have Gai. This char means charna means graze. When he will graze this grass when we fix, so the enzyme here we have, if we fix through glue, we have glucocerebrosidase as enzyme. Okay, now next approach, we have a child with progressive cognitive decline with macrocephaly. Here gray matter with macrocephaly. So we have CT for this condition. If CT suggestive of hydrocephalus, then hydrocephalus search for the cause for hydrocephalus. If it is normal or atrophy, then we look into eye and we search for cherry red spot. If cherry red spot is not present, then we have urinary N-acetyl aspartate. If it is positive, then we have Canavans. If it is negative, we have Alexander disease. Canavans having hypotonia as a feature, Alexander having spasticity. If cherry red spot is present, then we have Tay Sachs disease. So we have the condition Tay Sachs, Canavans, and Alexander, all three having macrocephaly. Okay, next we have, if a child present with gray matter disease only. Here we have no storage or no visceromegaly, that is having isolated cognitive decline or isolated dementia. We again go for CT head. If it is hydrocephalus, then search for the cause. If it is normal atrophy, then again we go for urinary screening. If urinary screening having, we do Benedict test for galactosemia. If cetrimide test is positive, Sanfilippo. If dinitrophenylhydrazine, then maple syrup urine disease. Enzyme deficiency, we have BCAD Bacard. Branch chain amino acyl dehydrogenase deficiency is there in maple syrup urine disease. If nitroprusside test is positive, then homocystinemia. If ferric chloride, okay, for ferric chloride we have apple green in PKU, and ferric chloride turns green brown in case of histinemia. Okay, next we have cerebellar sign. Cerebellar sign, here patient present with unsteadiness gait, then abnormal coordination. Okay, if ataxia, if feature all the suggestive of cerebellar sign, then we again look for the intelligence. If the child is having dementia or cognitive decline, then we look for cherry-red spot. Then we have Tay-Sachs disease as a diagnosis. If supranuclear gauge palsy is present with dementia with cerebellar sign, then Neumann's Pick C. And if spasticity is there with dementia with cerebellar sign, then optic atrophy with peripheral neuropathy, we have Krabbe. If only peripheral neuropathy is there, then the diagnosis would be MLD, metachromatic leukodystrophy. Okay. If there is a polymyoclonus with spasticity with dementia with cerebellar sign, then we have differential as GM1 gangliosidosis, sialidosis, MERRFF, then Lafora body, etc. Now we have cerebellar sign again with normal intelligence. We have in the last slide we have cerebellar sign with cognitive decline. Here we have normal intelligence. Okay. Then we have isolated cerebellar sign, ataxia with vitamin E deficiency. If there is a skeletal abnormality like Page-Cavus kyphoscoliosis plus cardiomyopathy, we have Friedreich ataxia. Okay. If there is conjunctival telangiectasia, then ataxia telangiectasia. If cerebellar sign with normal intelligence with steatorrhea, retinitis pigmentosa, peripheral neuropathy, we have a beta lipoproteinemia. And if we have spinocerebellar with normal intelligence, we have spinocerebellar degeneration. Okay, before completion this video, if the child present with pyramidal tract sign with spasticity, we have pyramidal spasticity with normal intellect, we have familiar spastic paraplegia. And if it present with deafness and seizure, this is complex familiar spastic paraplegia. In the next video of neurodegenerative disorder, we will learn about individual disease I have made it simple and interesting so that you can easily remember. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.